here, sometimes it's fun just to do a little practice painting and to play a bit. So here I'm starting with a gesture drawing using Indian yellow. My goal is to do a very loose drawing that gives me the basic shape and a few of the negative spaces as well. With a palette knife, I'm painting past the edges of the shapes I drew using the cool yellow and then using the warmer Indian yellow to do a bit of negative space painting. I'm using very drippy wet paint and moving my sketchbook around to see what happens with the flow of paint. While the paint is wet, I'm also scratching into the paint with my palette knife or color shaper. Here I'm continuing to add negative spaces around the flowers with magenta paint and scratching into that wet paint as well. For scratching in, I use various tools like color shapers and palette knives. My goal is not to be constrained by what I see in the photograph and to use the photo as reference for light and shadow only, and trying to continue to be playful with my marks, having interesting edges, some that get lost, some that get found. I'm using a lot of GAC 500, which is an acrylic medium in the paint, and to make those nice straight marks I'm using very goopy paint and going along the edge of the palette knife to make those marks. The triangular palette knife allows me to make the petal-like leaves quite easily. I like the fork-like end on the Catalyst color shaper. It makes hatch marks that are really quite nice. Permanent green light is a complementary color to magenta, and when it's placed over top of the magenta paint on the canvas, it creates quite a dark color. For each layer of color that I place, I am careful to allow the underlying color to show through as well. This practice makes for having interesting color throughout the painting and lots of color variation. Chromium oxide green is opaque, and when added with white it looks quite gray. I can glaze this later with yellows to brighten it up, or leave it as a cool gray to contrast against the brighter colors. I darken some of the background colors using a layer of dioxazine purple to make it a little bit darker. The darker background creates a nice contrast to the bright yellow flowers. Another thing I want on this painting is thick passages of paint, particularly on the lip parts of the flowers. At this stage, I'm just moving throughout the painting, adding little touches to finish it off. I think this playful painting is done. That was fun. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe for notice of new videos. Take care.